Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. This is Skaggly Bones here with another video for you. This time we are taking a look at our level 33 Hardcore Seasonal Crusader that we created a couple episodes ago. This is going to be our third installment of our series on leveling hardcore characters. Hopefully you got a chance to see my second installment of our public test realm video and giving you kind of a preview of what's going to happen in the season 2. So because season 1 should be ending here shortly, we want to finish up on our leveling guide for hardcore characters so that once season 2 kicks in, everybody will be up on how to the best ways to level their characters in hardcore mode or seasons. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you remember, we had switched over to Torment 1 right at the end of our last episode. And so currently we are at Torment level 1. Here's kind of a look at our inventory, our gear as we stand right now. And our gold and blood shards as we stand. So here's our weapon that we're using. Not much of a major weapon, but the big boost in damage comes from our red, or from our ruby, that we gain an extra 250 damage. Let's see, we have a Loyoric Signet, just normal ring of wounding there. Just a pretty average necklace there. Pretty average armor, as you can see here. We're just stacking strength. I got some movement speed there. As much of the slots as we can get. Like I said, just stacking strength, and then all resist on our. As much all resist as we can get. We have some cooldown reduction on the helm. A Gungdo gear, bracers. That's pretty much it for that. Let's look at our Paragon points. Oh, we have one more. I forgot we can add the strength there. So as you can see, we got everything in strength for our offense, or for our core. For offense, we're adding primarily, we have our critical hit chance fully maxed out, critical hit damage as much as possible, defense, all resist, and then armor, and utility, life on hit as much as possible, and then resource cost reduction. Trying to keep our resource management in check. Okay, so that's, like I said, that's our overview. And as before, we are continuing to run rifts for our leveling up. To really gain the most of our experience in leveling abilities. So hopefully we will be able to get ourselves to at least level 50. We're pretty close today. Right now, if you remember, our big main damage dealer we're using, our resource spender, is Fist of Heaven. Reason being, it's pretty useful. Sort of going into areas that we haven't opened up. Like I can't actually toss a Fist of Heaven in here. But anywhere I have opened up, I can throw a Fist of Heaven. So it's a pretty useful skill. Of course, we're using Heaven's Fury as well, because as we're trying to regain some of our wrath, we can cast Heaven's Fury. Gonna do some pretty good damage to our enemies. I've been picking up those, I don't really want to. I always say try to put in your pylons or right now we're not using Akarat's champion. Some people ask me why don't I use Akarat's champion yet. I do. I'm at that level where I could use Akarat's champion. But I prefer to use Iron Skin right now just because I'll get a little bit more survivability at it at the lower levels. Now once I hit higher levels, I need Akarat's champion more for damage than I do survivability. Because when it comes to enemies, I want to be able to kill enemies quickly. Now if you have an Ice Walker's, or sorry, an Ice Climber's boots, then you really don't need the much mass survivability. Those Templar vitality. You really want to keep as much strength on your Templar as much as possible. Templar, or well, I should say your followers aren't going to gain as much from critical hit chance and critical hit damage as you are. Because they're not, unless you stack a lot of it, you're not going to get as much as you will. You can stack quite a bit more critical hit chance, critical hit damage. Follower thing. Initially, show you some details here. You notice my critical hit chance is only 14.5. My critical hit damage is only 75%. So it isn't until almost much later that there's at certain points where it really synergizes and really starts to increase quite a bit of damage, and really not until quite a bit later on that critical hit damage really does, or critical hit chance actually does anything. First off, if you're going to stack anything, you want to stack critical hit chance more than critical hit damage early on in the game. Ooh. Know what that is? That's a good one. Okay, so Count Julio's cameo now. This is a real awesome one. You want this mostly when you get in the upper levels, because this prevents all arcane damage taken and heal yourself for 20% of amount prevented. This is quite an awesome amulet. There is a number of, either 3 or 4 amulets that prevent certain types of damage. Arcane is probably one of the biggest damage dealers in the game, so that we're going to definitely use. Vitality, damage. Not going to really use that because we're not using Condemn right now, where you are using Heaven's Fury. So that's not really worth anything. him. So we've gained a new slash. We have Crush, which gains 20% increased critical attack speed. We also have Justice with Crack right now, which we can use. So we can use that. It's actually probably a little bit better for what we're doing right now. Laws of Valor. Invincible. Critical. So we're going to use Critical. We're going to go to Accurate's Champion now has Firestarter and Embodiment Power. So it would actually be worth it now to have Accurate's Champion instead of Iron Skin. We're going to still keep Iron Skin. We're really not. Not like we're having trouble killing stuff. If you're having trouble killing stuff, then I could see. Remember as well too, we are in Torment 1. We're actually pretty high as far as the difficulty scale for this level. Which is typically not where most people are running in at this time period. Not saying people don't. There are people will. And you can't, as I showed you, it's very easy to run at this difficulty level at Torment 1 if you have your gear not ridiculously optimized. We have properly optimized our gear. The other reason we use Iron Skin is Iron Skin will prevent any crowd control effects, for instance, freezing, things like that. And it just makes for a for a little bit easier time when you are in a rift environment and you have quite a bit of heroic mobs that are coming up, especially if you're killing mobs pretty quickly. But there is a lot of heroic mobs, blue and yellow mobs that can freeze you. They can make it a pretty tough time if you're not really paying attention. So, we want to be able to not get frozen or stuck.
To go back.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be disappointed.
So I don't care about my justice damage. What I really care about is strength. We're gonna change that. I want the sockets. I'm gonna put that in. We're gonna salvage. I'm gonna salvage everything except for this. This flail, and of course this ring. Place that ring there. I'm going to put that on my Templar. Gonna do a little bit of it.
Did you forget to eat again?
Put that in. Put that in. Because you notice that doesn't. See, this would be a good one. The fact is that I would lose some cooldown reduction, and I would lose some strength, so not really worth it. I'm gonna salvage that. Go beat the Rift boss. Now, if I was using Acker as champion, I would have already killed the guy. But it's not that big of a deal. It's not like he's that tough to maybe take a few extra seconds. Because there's quite a considerate cooldown reduction between this. This has 30 seconds. And the other one has 90 seconds. Grass champion does. More worth it to use. This one. Also, we're using justice because we get a little bit of range. Like in an area like this where we can
to go back.
go turn this in. Got a pair of boots that we can switch over to. That'll be slightly better.
Your skill has grown.
Big thing you want it to do is at least get, let's say 2 levels of Rift. Movement speed. This would be awesome. 10% movement speed. There we go. Bam. That's perfect. Okay. I don't want those. I want to sell those. I keep picking them up out of force of habit.
You look small, but I'll hurt you if you try to steal from me.
Away it goes. So as we were talking about in my last video, they were talking about the goblins, the new goblins that are going to be in the new season. As you can see, I only have 50 blood shards, and we've been running a few of these. We've been running quite a few of these rifts, and I only have 50 blood shards. And I haven't really used them at all, because we're waiting until I get to level 70 to use the blood shards, because I don't really care about. I don't really care about the equipment I can get from Kadal at this point in time. Not gonna be really worth it. So in this next patch, we're gonna actually have these treasure goblins that do nothing but they're gonna give you some money. They're gonna give you some blood shards, or they're gonna give you some gems. It's gonna be really awesome. Now, early on, for leveling, it'll be quite beneficial. It'll allow you to get pretty decent gems early on, or quite a bit of them to allow you to make them the better gems, or to get some good amount of gold early on, and as well as to get plenty of blood shards so that you can get stuff from Kadala early on, which will be kind of nice. Big thing is trying to get through as much of these enemies as you can quickly. You want to look at the gear you get, because any upgrade is going to help, especially when it comes to the amount of slots you get. I'm not going to refuse to run over gold, but I'm not mainly at this point in time looking for gold so much as I'm looking for items. And that's just for upgrades. Because all of our upgrades, by the way, when you're leveling, want to come from what's dropped. For the most part, your yellows and your blues are going to be, well, just say your yellows for that most part are going to be your best items. You'll get a few legendary items from time to time, but I want to bank on my legendaries so much. I don't worry about getting good yellows to begin with. Everything is kill things as quickly as possible.
Patience.
You're not going to always be able to stop or run through all your enemies. Obviously, you're looking for as many of the elite mobs. Because they're going to give you the most experience. You're also going to be the best loot. Kind of sucks those. Always put the power pylons. Well, actually, the pylons in the weirdest out of the way manner. A little tougher to get to other things. By the time you get to any enemy, it takes a while. Time on them has run out. I do wish that there was a better method for looting stuff other than clicking on them. That is the one drawback to the game. That ticks me off a little bit. Always has been a, I think, a glitchy part of the game. But things you gotta live with. Sometimes, now greater rifts, obviously we don't have to worry about actually looting anything until the end. All the loot is kept to the end, which makes it for a nicer experience. Remember, if you get a number of mobs you're having to deal with, don't worry about the loot until the end. The loot is not going to go anywhere. It's not going to disappear. Even if you have to teleport back to town, it's not going to disappear, especially in hardcore mode. Because if you pick it up anyways, let's say I pick up loot, and then I die, well, the loot's gone anyways, so I haven't done myself any good. So the last thing you want to do is be killing yourself over some loot. Huh. Gonna be a little bit better. That's better for my follower if you look there. Bam.
Good thought.
Initially, don't worry about your follower stuff is blue. The big thing you want is strength, and then a good weapon. Sometimes you need to take a few extra seconds. Make sure your follow or yourself has used until you're on. Things sometimes take longer. It's just part of life when you're playing a game like this. That's what you have to do. Where are we at here? I wonder where our exit is at. Hopefully it's up here. Looks like it. Looks like we're gonna have an exit right here. Hopefully we can hit, be close to hitting level 39 by the time we're done with this rift. Kind of unusual. We had a yellow enemy and got no drop from it. Does happen. Not very often, but it does happen. As you notice, some of the enemies are not. These enemies and the maps that you're on do not follow from what the story mode would be. Okay? Or if you're playing through normal adventure mode. Doing bounties. Okay? So bounties, the maps. The only difference between bounty and story mode is the fact that you're allowed to go anywhere you want at any given time. But the enemies you're fighting are going to mod the type of map you're on. Okay? Whereas in a rift, you're going to have to be careful. A little bit more careful because maps and enemies are not going to match. They're kind of randomized. So, just because you think, well, I'm in this map where spiders normally would be, don't plan for spiders. Well, you'll figure out pretty quick what types of enemies are in the rifts as you play, but the whole point of the rift is for it being a little bit unpredictable. Also, certain skills are better used in certain rifts or certain types of maps. For instance, Tony builds in some areas are just not as effective on a lot of stuff because of the fact that maybe the corridors are too small. Ooh. 2 on that one. Be good.
I need to go back.
Now I could continue on. I can do all the rest of the levels within these rifts, even though the rift boss is dead. But for time's sake, and for the fact that I have you folks watching,
The blood runs true within you. 5 faces rewarded.
excuse me. We want to keep these runs as short as possible. Excuse me. Now, the nice thing about re-rolling is you don't have to choose something new each time you re-roll. You can keep what you had. There we go. Now we got our 2 sockets. Oh, we're going to also try to re-roll this shield, this Crusader shield. Because that way I can give the shield that I have on me. Nope. Yeah, I'm going to try to re-roll this one. 5% chance to block. We want to keep our block chance. I do not have enough. I'm not going to have enough of the iridescent tears, looks like, until I salvage some stuff. I guess it's time to do some salvaging. Actually salvage that. Forget it. We want as much of this all resist as possible. Now we have enough to reroll this guy. Big thing we want is strength. There we go. Hopefully you do it off of one roll, because the last thing you really want is just to be spending a lot of there you go. So not a ton more damage, but we have a little bit more damage with that one. Okay, let's do another rift here.
Unleash your power, champion.
Now be aware that just because you make it to Torment 1 at this low a level, and you're playing at Torment 1, does not mean you may always be playing at that level. You might have to drop it back a notch. And unlike in normal mode, non-hardcore mode, do something here real quick. Pause it. I can't lower or raise my difficulty when playing hardcore. You must exit the game. So, you always want to be careful before starting a rift. Make sure that you're good enough to actually beat that rift with the hardness level that you're on. Really important. If you're starting to struggle with a difficulty mode, level, then gonna tone it down a little bit. realize I had an empty socket on that. Helmet sockets, remember, are a little different. They're going to have a different effect than what you would have normally if I put a gem on there. For instance, if I put a diamond, I'm going to get all resist on armor, but I'm not going to get that same effect on the helmet. I'm going to get cooldown reduction. So I need to think a little bit more wisely. Wow. Quite a bit better. That's why it's kind of silly. You can see there. It's extremely silly. I mean, it's doing a ton of stuff with your weapons. Or with making weapons, making items, because gain stuff quite quickly. Now, as you notice, I'm just going to sit here. If I'm running low on health, you want to sit right at the access point, or the focal point of the beam, and then you'll get the full blast of it. Which will also mean you keep yourself healed pretty well. Now, one other amulet that's really good for keeping yourself healed is Kimbol's Gold, because picking up gold heals you. Fire chains can be trouble, but if you keep them together, they normally won't cause you too much difficulty. And so typically
Not ready yet. Patience. Not ready yet. Patience. For Zakarum. Not ready yet. Not yet.
shoulders that we got, you see these phantom blades that comes out every once in a while. That's from the shoulders. They are.
Not yet.
Remember, any legendary that has an effect on it, it can be quite useful. In fact, sometimes it can actually be more worthwhile than a set if you don't have a full 6-piece set, 3-piece set, simply because each effect or legendary affects that we see on these legendary items can actually be add up quite a bit. You always want to keep that in mind. Always remember that. But
I'm returning to town.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be disappointed.
oh, let's see. Let's get rid of that junk first. So that's 14,000. Let's see what it is afterward. we're gonna put some health on our character. So typically at low levels, I don't worry about cooldown reduction. I do care about that, so that's what we're gonna do for now.
Impressive.
Just curious what kind of stuff we can make. We're gonna look at level 40 weapon. We actually have quite a few. I could make some set pieces, but they're going to be lower level.
Are you gonna eat the meat?
No,
Eat the meat.
I already ate. Okay, so we're gonna re-roll on that one. Re-roll the vitality away. I don't care about vitality. Life per hit. See how many tears do we need? We need 6 more. We'll put that right here for now until we can re-roll more on it. We need a socket on it. Like I said, sockets are really the most important thing. Even if you have to re-roll away strength, do it. Notice right now our strength is 1,007, which is enough. What is something here? What do we have here? Yeah. Oh, I forgot we hadn't actually added anything to Fists of Heavens. We didn't have a rune on there, so it wasn't doing as much damage. So we're gonna, you have Divine Well, you have Fissure, and you have Fist of Heavens. Or Heaven's Fury, Tempest. Heaven's Tempest adds fire damage, so it's gonna actually add a Fire Well. You can see that that's gonna do damage. Damage over time, so that's what we're really looking at. It'll do really the most damage. Granted, we're not really running so much a fire build, but we're not running in a specific build, elemental wise. That's the one you want to use. And of course, you can run a really awesome fire build around that, based on your Cindercoat and a Maximus and a Adriel's Visage So there's quite a few. There's quite a few items that will support a very awesome fire build, along with accurate champion as a fire rune, fire starter, which works very well.
Not yet.
Now, Justice doesn't have a fire rune. You have, but you can go slash has crush, which is fire rune. So if you're doing a fire build, you want to use slash crush. That's my opinion. I think people won't do that. That's silly. But if you're using Maximus, you're going to already be pretty close. So. Your enemies. For the most part. Now, don't go running it. Don't go picking up the loot yet. Big thing is you want to kill these treasure goblins as quickly as possible.
Not yet.
As many of them as quickly as possible. This happens from time to time.
Not ready yet. Patience.
If you want to stop them, use your Wrath Spender. There we go. And these guys. Worthless. I go picking up everything and then I throw away the gems and stuff afterward. I don't know how many of those treasure goblins we actually killed. Oh, there's one more sitting there. Actually, two more sitting there. I wonder how they didn't open up a portal. That was funny. I've actually never seen that happen before. This would actually be really kind of cool if I had no...
I'm overburdened.
Probably have to go back to town. Excuse me. Wow. Well, that was a reaction and a half. We're getting hit. Something didn't want us to go back to town. There you go, people. First sneeze caught on film. Woo! At least perhaps the first sneeze in a Diablo 3 video. Bet you'll never see that twice. Okay, we're gonna teleport back to town. So we can salvage some of the stuff.
Hey, mister. I got some.
Okay, so we have a couple things we want to keep a hold of. We have, that does a little bit more damage. I noticed this, my Count Julia's cameo has had dexterity on it, which I don't really want dexterity. Let's try to re-roll this dexterity. Way. Get us some strength. Bam. Yeah. So, now, we're going to use... We're going to use this guy. And we're going to put on our Templar.
Ah, good.
Okay. We're going to put this here. It doesn't give me much.
This will help.
Yep. This is actually better.
This will help.
No, it's not. No, that's better. Okay. So we're going to give him that shield. Let's see what we got. 96. 145. We give him this.
A good choice.
Okay. And we're going to salvage everything else. We want this. Okay. Now we're going to try to re-roll this. We have strength. We want to get rid of the life per hit. See if we can get a socket. Be tough, folks. We might actually end up picking up something. We're just going to do this instead of trying to re-roll for it. Gonna create it. Do that crap. So we're gonna salvage this. So I can re-roll for strength. Strength's easy to re-roll for. Strength is always easy to re-roll for, folks. Remember that. It's going to give you your primary attribute. That's one of the first things it's going to give you. Primary attribute. Go ahead and go back. Get all the rest of this loot. Yep. Whoa. Speak of the devil, and he will show up. I told you, I said we'd probably find one legendary before we'd be able to re-roll the legendary that I made. Now it's a two-handed legendary. It doesn't, not that big of a deal, but legendaries have been dropping for us, so I don't know why it has been that surprising. Pretty lucky. Pretty fortunate. I really hate minions. Pain in the butt. Another. Wow. It's getting crazy. You're hitting the. So, looks like I'm not going to be re-rolling this axe, probably. I might, we'll see. And a Rift Guardian. Oh, yes, the Joker.
Not ready yet.
Yeah. I really need accurate stamping right now. Especially because they make killing him quite a bit quicker. Not that he's actually going to hurt us. We're also at 26,000 life, which isn't bad for considering our level. We also want to keep his fury up as much as possible. There you go. We have done it.
I'm returning to town.
Ugh. We're going to see what these are first before I go salvaging anything. So that's, see right there, we have a socket. We have a socket that's 315 strength. That's 332 and vitality. So it's a cold damage. Overall damage per second is the same. This has slightly more strength and some vitality. So, here's what we're going to do. Bam. Bam. Gives us 24% more damage. It gives us 22% more damage. I'm not worried about my health so much. Now, the only problem is, right now we got 15,000 damage. We're going to have to get rid of Fervor in exchange for Heavenly Strength. Okay. Same. Now, here's why I'm going to do this. And instead, because check this out. I'm going to give this to my follower. I'm going to give him 5,000 damage. That's going to actually help us out quite a bit. Okay. Over that guy. Normally I don't keep gems on him, but giving him that really increases the amount of damage that we're going to do. So that's what you really want.
You have proven
We have reached 44. New set that we could make is Oghild's. Melee attacks, but a set bonus is reducing damage from melee attacks. Only one worth making it. It would help me is the chest. The helm. Problem is the helm is a little too pricey to make. As far as your incandescent tears are concerned. It's not really worth it in my opinion.
embrace your power, and you will survive.
If you notice, my damage is about the same, but my resource management is a little slightly better. Just because it's a slower weapon. Now, two-handed maces are really ultimate, since they are the fastest two-handed weapons. So they actually give you can actually get almost as much. They don't seem so slow for being a two-handed weapon. It's kind of nice. Maces are also pretty slow. Really slow. Axes are a little faster. Swords and flails are the fastest. Halberds. I think after this we're going to change them. Our Iron Skin to Accurate Champion. It'll be a little bit more effective for us. We're going to use fire starters. Fire starter does the most damage. We are going to change from provoke to condemn on this. Just because we got unleashed. It's going to give us a little bit extra damage. It's also pretty short cooldown. It's only 15 seconds. Alright. Want to keep it on Blessed Ground. Blessed Ground or Split Fury. Those are the two ones. So we're going to keep it on that. Very much what we're going to do. The nice thing is condemn at this small level will get us out of some pickles. Pretty quick cooldown. We're not going to have Accurate Champion up for every boss fight. Or sorry, I should say every fight with a yellow, blue, or purple mob. But we should have it be able to be up for all of our boss fights and a good chunk of these guys as well. Now, if I get halfway through a fight with a mob, even if Accurate Champion comes up, I'm not going to use Accurate Champion. I want him to be fresh for the beginning of the fight. When you're halfway through a fight, you're probably not going to use it. Use some of your other stuff, your other damage dealers. You should be fine. The amount of legendary mobs. And typically, after a champion, you can take down a couple. I really hate Nightmare. You know, Akarat's champions up, and I only have a few seconds of them, and I just beat them within like 5 seconds. So even though I had brought up Akarat's champion early, probably a little too early, it didn't matter. I was able to defeat that Rift boss pretty quickly. Let's see here. Trying to see if I got anything that's... I changed that out because I got 16 and 15% more. So I went down from 15,900 to 15,700, so it's well worth the little bit less damage. Making sure I don't have anything else that I can use that's slightly better.
I need to go back.
So, not really. Back.
Your skill has grown.
If we could.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be disappointed.
I so wish I could do a greater rift. Be really awesome. Some people ask me, why don't you trade with Kadala? But I want to stay away from using Kadala. Until I start to get full. Really, I'm not even close to being full. So again, we got two heroic mobs. What, honey? Oh, that's cold. Go on, honey. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Are you camera?
Oh, I'm recording. Huh? Yeah. Okay. As you can see, this is typically why I like to use a single-handed weapon. A little bit more speed for your attacks. Doesn't seem like you're moving so slow. When you get into game, you want to almost always have a two-handed. Single-handed. Of course, it depends what kind of build you're on as well. So. I got a build right now that I'm running. It's based off my attack speed, so. It's kind of imperative that I have a fast attack speed. If I'm using a Shard of Hate, I'm a rolling set. So. Like we got a little gold, I believe. Figure out when we get back to town. Two sets of enemies on one. Sort of. There, mom. That's fine. Ooh. Probably should be good enough, it looks like. Battle boss. Hopefully we can finish him off. I thought I was going to finish him off before my accurate champion ran out, but I don't know.
need to go back.
Okay, folks. Looks like that's going to be our final rift for today.
Well done, champ.
So again, we'll quickly see what we got, legendary-wise. Oh, no, sorry. It's a squirts necklace. Kimbo's gold. What am I thinking? Now, because this is exactly the same, except it's leveled up, actually use that.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be disappointed.
Okay. See what else we can use. Vitality, critical hit, damage increase. We can use that. We're gonna use these. Well, so that gives us some damage and strength, so we're gonna put that on him.
Thank you. Ah, good.
Quite a bit better. We're gonna go through and salvage the rest. Just curious what it's going to be to re-roll this guy. Yep, that's right, it doesn't take any gems to re-roll lower level. Well, we're going to actually throw. We're going to do this. I'm going to put that there. That is going to give us 678 all resist. Go over our Templar. We're going to put this on him.
Ah, good.
Actually, no, we're not.
Ah, good.
We're going to keep this for if we die and we need it for a lower level. It's a hard one to come by. And that's all we're going to do for today, folks. So, like always, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, go ahead and you can do this. But and give us a comment in the comment section below. Remember to subscribe. Definitely you want to subscribe to the channel. And as always, happy hunting. Have a good time out there in the world of hardcore. Diablo 3. This is Skaggly Bones, and I'm out of here.